is maybe even ahead of schedule from where we looked at. And the greatest aspect I thought about this team was their depth, where Coach Anderson had a bunch of guys he could go to, but this was probably his first year where every day in practice he could have those guys compete like it was a game. And when he first got here, it was scholarship issues, low on scholarships. So this year he had those guys. And he had certain key guys for a couple of years now to instill and install his defense and teach his defense. And so and then the emergence of Bobby Portis put him over the top. It really did. I mean, he's a special kid. But when you look going forward, that's why so many people think the Hawks are dangerous, is because of their depth. It's because you do at times have guys that can come off the bench and can give you some really quality minutes and sustain that level of play, that second wave of just wearing down their opponent. And we all know how effective Coach Richardson's style was in NCAA tournament play, and Coach Anderson with the same thing. You just can't compete with it. And I don't want to get too far ahead of myself getting excited about this year and possibly playing the second weekend, the Sweet 16. But when you do look at it, this team does set up for, I think, really having some spoilers. But this is the most important week of the season, closing out at South Carolina, and then LSU Saturday senior night. So, and one other thing before I pitch it over to him is, I think Rashad Madden, this being his fourth year, he's gone through a lot. But for him to be able to be that stat sheet stuffer, I mean, it's amazing. And he came in highly recruited, and so for some people, he was an easy target.
From Lepanto.
But that's right, Lepanto guy.
All good things come out of Point St.
And the thing is, that's.
Isn't there another kid that's from Lepanto?
Yeah, we'll
We'll ask about him a little later.
Yeah, but if you're going to talk about Lepanto, we can talk about Lepanto.
But I just hope that Rashad gets the credit that he deserves this year, because he's putting together quietly an incredible season, and he's just sort of like a glue when you need him to be.
Kai's taken a stride. He struggled there at the beginning of SEC play. From about 4 games in on league play, if you look at the stats and you go back and watch the film, Kai's been that difference maker that may not have gotten the pub that he deserved.
I agree. Knowing him personally, one thing that he had to change this year was last year he was looked upon the score more. And early in the season he struggled with it. We talked numerous times, and just focusing on him finding his role where it changed. Where, like you said, you have Bobby and Mike producing more, and you have Anton. So it wasn't on his shoulders to score as much this year. He had to facilitate, put guys in the right place. So I mean, I think he's gotten more and more comfortable with that as the year went on, and he's filling the void that's needed with the team right now.
Well, and I think the big part of that is, as we saw early in the season, Mike Anderson tinkering with lineups, trying to find not just that starting 5, but those 7 that he was going to play the most, the guys that clicked the most, where the chemistry was. We saw it at times with different folks, and then when Anton came in, it was like the puzzle pieces kind of fit together. I mean, we've talked, for 2 years now, and everybody's saying, man, we got to have Bobby and Moses on the floor at the same time. That's the duo that needs to be there. And then we find out halfway through the season that the duo that really made a difference for Arkansas took us to the next level this year, ended up being Anton Beard and Kai Madden, kind of an unlikely deal that a lot of people thought they played the same spot and had either one or the other on the court. That made a big difference in what Arkansas was able to do this year.